Hi, I'm Stephen with SixStringers, founder of SixStringers, the creator of FretFixxer. When you get FretFixxer, you'll see that you have two parts. You have the ergonomic nitrile handle. It's a hard rubber. It has holes in it for you can hang it up on a peg. This is for the file block. When you insert the file, you go in dead center, and there are grooves here and here, and you'll see that it doesn't move laterally, okay, which is a good thing. When you hold it with your index finger, like so, apply a little pressure, all right? Because otherwise, I did quite a bit there, but you don't want it to drop out. You can also use it without the handle. Depends which way you're most comfortable. But using it with the handle, you're going to get more leverage, so a little more pressure, and get the filing done faster, and it frees up your other hand to stabilize the guitar neck if it's wiggling around. So, of course, we want to identify a high fret. That's a little video insert. I forgot to mention high frets. Sometimes the high fret is caused by fret lifting out of the slot. So you want to make really sure that's not what's happening before using FretFixxer or any other kind of leveling method. If you see that it's up out of the slot, you can tap it back down, press it back down, use a little CA glue, and you could actually, clamp it with a capo. Not in this part, but the rest of the neck. And let it set before you do anything else, and then check to make sure about your high frets. Okay. And to do that, we need a fret rocker. But before you use a fret rocker, you need a notch straight edge. Because that neck has to be, perfectly flat. I have a little flashlight here, and I can look under and see if there's any light showing. And if there is, I know the neck's not flat. So why is that important? Because to use a fret rocker, if the neck's not flat, say you have the strings off and so it back bows, and you're in this area over here, and you think you're found a high fret, probably not, because you're on a bit of a hill there, and so it's going to rock anyways, right? And so, yeah, it really needs to be flat. And then if it's concave, well, that presents a different can of worms. So it must be flat to accurately use a fret rocker. Okay. And the other thing about using a fret rocker, so you find a high fret. Let's see, we'll find one here somewhere. There's one right there. So we find this high fret. This being the high fret. I cannot use that fret and go over one set because, well, I know that's a high fret. It's not going to give me an accurate reading. I can skip that high fret and check, and then skip again. And that's something to really know about using a fret rocker. Okay, let's see, where was that high fret? Right there. Now this is a brand new guitar. It has stainless steel frets. I mark the high fret with a sharpie. I'm going to be able to see what's going on. Now, as I said before, I can use it without the handle. The file block itself has 4 sides, and each side is a different length. So like this is the short one here. And that'll get this fret here. Okay. And then you go to the next length, and that's going to be, it'll do like that fret there. And then the next length, a little bit longer. And that's going to work on this one we found that's high. And something you'll notice, it rocks on that high fret also, like a rocker does. All right, and then the last side, of course, are for the frets down here, okay? So identify what is the proper fit, because we only want to span 3 frets, only 3, not more. Okay, and so what FretFixxer is going to do, it's going to make the high fret level with these 2 next door neighbors. Okay. Now let's do out the handle. You can do it that way. You can try and balance it this way. So another video insert. This time, catching up with myself here, the neck support. If I'm working on frets here, and I have the neck supported up by the headstock, and I'm filing here, pushing down on it, it's going to flex the neck. That's not going to be very good. So wherever you're working, you want your neck support right there, so that you don't get any flex in the neck. Okay, that's really important. Stainless steel frets take longer than nickel frets because it's a lot harder material. I can see where the black marker is coming off. Now I'm going to use the handle. When you use the handle, make sure this side is facing this way. And I could do it like this. I'll put the handle over like that, put my finger over the top. Now I get a lot more leverage, particularly with stainless steel. It's something a lot of people ask is about, is it universal? Will it work on all frets? And the answer to that is yes. And the reason for that is the file channel. The file channel, unlike every other fret crowning file, is not a semi-round. It's a conic. Okay, so it kind of curves in like this to a sharper area instead of being like a bowl. And this way, it works on all frets, whether it is going to be narrow to jumbo wide, doesn't make any difference. It's going to crown them all perfectly. So, I'm going to go back to this guy here and see if I can finish it up. The other thing is after you file a fret, you're going to want to polish it. When you polish a fret, you're going to be taking off some more material. So FretFixxer is engineered to leave something like 0.0003 thousandths material, like 3/10 thousandths. You could also say 1/3 thousand, okay? Which is just enough so that after you polish, and that takes off a little material, your fret is not too short. Don't want that. If it's too short, you can't put it back. A little bit too tall, you can finish it off. Very, very tiny bit. So now to polish it, use blue tape. You can also use one of those fretboard protectors, those little metal strips with a slot cut in them. I prefer the tape because of how I do things, and I don't have to hold it. It sticks on there by itself. I have some 600 paper, and you can walk it up to 1,000, 1,200, whatever, have a few different types of paper. And polish out the filing. It's not a lot. It's a little bit. And then when you get it to where you think you like it, then the next thing you can do, just to make it a little smoother yet, I have a damp sponge here. Tap the paper to the damp sponge, and it's just damp, And then that gives me even a shinier polish on the fret, particularly if I'm using like 1000 grit. And that's all there is to it. Now, something you may notice, I have the strings here. See, I'm using a string spreader to get them out of the way. I don't have to take the strings off, and I'd rather not. If you don't have a string spreader would look like this. You can use blue tape, or you can even use a piece of string, kind of tie them back like that, just to get them out of the way. And that's all there is to it. That's FretFixxer. Anybody can do it, professional or novice alike, and you will absolutely get beautiful, perfect results every time. FretFixxer. Thank you.